Hello there, everyone. How you doing today? I hope you're all well. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to be reacting to a few Mythical Kitchen episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, you're only getting one at a time. Gotta chase that content bag somehow. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. And if Mythical Kitchen wants me to take down these videos, all they need to do is leave a comment down below. Now let's get started. Finn Wolfhard eats his last meal. Let's watch that one.
I'm Finn Wolfhard, and this is my last meal.
Is that rice-a-roni I see on there? I mean, the blizzard's valid. The blizzard's totally valid, but is that goddamn rice-a-roni I see in there? Oh well. Oh well.
Every person has exactly two things in common. We all gotta eat and we're all gonna die.
I'm gonna die tomorrow! Watch I actually die tomorrow and it just be... And everyone comes back to this moment like, oh my god, he called it. I would laugh for that kind of irony.
Absolutely. I don't know if it is your real passion, but it's happened a few times. Yeah.
It was like my first, I feel like that was my break into acting, was doing music videos for punk band.
Really?
Punk band.
That's an interesting way into getting voice acting.
From Toronto.
You do have the general face of young punk. Like if I were to cast you as young punk, I think
that's good.
He looks like Kylo Ren from Star Wars.
Does this setting look familiar?
Is he Kylo Ren from Star Wars? I might just be being stupid right now.
Look at the architecture.
Okay, is this like? I mean, this looks like the popcorn ceiling. This looks like somewhere I've shopped before. Oh, I know what this is. This is the house from the Weezer video.
You're goddamn right.
Yeah. Small world after all.
We shot the entire freaking cookbook in this house.
Alright, so he's not Kylo Ren according to chat. I was about to say, if I was saying he looked like Kylo Ren, and he actually turned out to be Kylo Ren's actor, I would have to shoot myself for that mistake.
I will say.
No, yeah, it's cool though.
Alright.
Incredible. That's where I took my author bio photo.
Yeah, that's great.
Really spectacular.
Yeah.
Have you thought about your last meal before?
I guess when you're actually gonna die and you have a last meal, this is like when you're, a prisoner, you don't always get what you want. So
fair enough.
In my head, it's always been a Big Mac or whatever.
A Big Mac. Really, a Big Mac.
Yeah.
That's it.
My brain, which is
Have
insane.
you looked up each state's limitations?
I haven't looked up every state's limitations, but also from watching your videos too. Sometimes I'll see comments that are like, well, actually.
Pausing for a moment, if I had to have one particular food item in my last meal, it would be a Taylor ham, egg and cheese sandwich on a nice, soft, fluffy Kaiser roll. And for my drink, I would have root beer mixed with orange soda. Oh, it would be fantastic.
You can't get exactly what you want for on your, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I guess I've just educated myself accidentally for it. But I mean, this was the first time I really thought about okay, what would I want? What would I be happy with? Going out with.
Okay, just pausing for a second to address something chat said. Why would anyone choose to eat a McDonald's as a last meal? Well, for criminals' purposes at least, they don't always get what they want, cause one particular person in history decided to fuck it up for everyone. You know who you are, ghost of criminal past. That's actually something that happened. That's actually a historical thing. Anyway, onto the video.
What did you learn about yourself in that process?
I think that I want stuff from childhood, stuff that's just comforting, because I've had
comforting stuff do be comforting.
They're not the same as the whole Ratatouille thing, where it's you eat the thing that reminds you of that time as a kid or whatever.
That's me with Taylor ham.
Just basically pick
That's me with Taylor ham. There was a restaurant around when I was growing up called The Fireplace. It's now closed, much to my dismay. But they had the best Taylor ham sandwiches I have ever had. And they also had cheese fries, which were freaking fantastic.
Really think about death as a career. You kind of just go in circles.
Cough my lungs out, why don't I?
Answer for any of it, so it's just well, this is kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then, I meet people that are super lax about death, like Gaten, who's on the show.
I'm lax about death because I thought I'd die before I turned 18. At this point, every day I live now is a bonus day. That's why I'm lax about dying. I'm already past my expiration date of 18. Any day I die is a day I'm willing to die. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't remember what he said on the show, but in real life, I remember we had a long death talk, and he was so unworried about it. He was like, oh, it's just like, do you remember when you were born? I was like, no. He's like, that's what it is. I was like, oh. And it calmed me down so much.
He's such a bright, shining, beautiful light.
He really, yeah. What a sweet thing to say.
You're like the black cat to his golden retriever.
Yeah, I really am.
About death and...
Yeah.
You ready to eat your last meal?
Let's do it.
Oh, they get to eat now. Huh?
Finn, for the first course of your final meal, we have, quote, a local ballpark burger with everything on it except
What's
tomato.
a ballpark
Miss
burger?
Vicky's
Is that just the
chips.
burger you get from a
And then we
local
have
ballpark?
A properly poured pint of Guinness here.
Yes.
Just a little
I
bit
mean, at
of
least you
head
get a
on top.
Guinness.
Tell me
I'm
about
not
this
much of a
local
booze
ballpark
person,
burger.
but I
Which
hear
local
Guinness
ballpark
is
are we
good.
talking about?
So, well, there's a few that come.
In my
to mind.
opinion,
There was
beer's
one that
just
I grew
fermented
up
piss.
By, it was like a little league, sort of ballpark, like a small.
I've never had
league
Guinness.
one,
Have
and,
you had Guinness
like,
before,
the
chat?
cast of all
If
the
so,
teams and
inform
stuff,
me
like,
what it
they
tastes
would
like. Because if it's
sell
bitter,
it
I'm
in
never
the-
having
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
Oh, I know the type.
That one comes to mind, and then like the Jays Stadium also. But there's just something so nostalgic about, like when you go and watch like a little league game. There used to be a lot more of that. I feel like, and then kids started going inside.
Finn, you're getting old, man.
I know.
And then
I
COVID
don't
hit.
like talking like this because it does make me sound older, and I'm just not.
Hey, time waits for nobody, honestly.
Yeah, it's all coming for us.
Yeah, really.
Time's coming for us.
Oh, hey, in the meantime, man, we got Guinness.
Hey, cheers, man.
God, it just kind of almost has that like soy saucy note to it.
I've been told that it's
Soy
not heavy.
sauce.
Technically, like it's the least.
have
Were
my
you told that
interest.
by like an old Manchester?
Well, I was.
Like,
Yeah,
it's not heavy.
Oh, I'd hate
That
it.
is,
All
like,
right.
They have a different.
All right,
strategy.
chat saying I'd hate
Definitely
Guinness
the
because it's
most-
bitter. All right. Get that idea out of my head. It's
From
bitter.
alcohol
Get out of
is
that. No
after
more
drinking
Guinness
too
for
much.
And you
me.
wanna relive that
I would
moment?
I would
Well,
want
that's
my
what I'm trying to
alcohol
watch
to
it.
be excruciatingly
Like,
sweet.
some people
And
drink
honestly,
something,
most
it makes
alcohol
them
just tastes like piss,
sick,
so it
and then
just
they don't
doesn't
wanna ever
interest
drink it
me.
again if they
I'm
have
more
it.
of a soda
This
kind of
is
guy.
Still good on.
I'm more of a
my book.
soda
You're
kind of
the
guy,
Jägermeister
like
Diet Monster.
mixing
Oh,
my
dig a
sodas,
burger.
creating little monstrosities of drinks. My favorite one I've ever made was
at 20 years old.
the
What was
Blue
the
Mountain
record? That
Dew
was the right
mixed
time.
with the
I think we'll
grape
find out
Mountain
here.
Dew. It was actually a little atrocity I made,
bet.
but
Did we ever-
everyone else hated
Just
it.
face of
But
the
I
money
love
pumpkin.
that
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
I
Something
love
that-
that shit.
I was super curious and interested about is just like in the filmmaking, just the process of it all.
Though, if
I
you
know when
want,
I
if you want
was
a drink
really
mix
young and I
idea
started doing
that will
movies and
probably
stuff,
taste
and
good,
I
root
was
beer and
working
orange
actively
soda
on
never
sets with
misses in my
a
book.
bunch of, like, young
People are like,
directors
say it's
who
like an
made a lot
orange
of indie stuff.
creamsicle.
I love the way that
Not
you're kind
doesn't
of, like,
taste quite
the
like
head
that
of
in my
the
opinion,
team,
but
and you're leading
eh.
this team, and like you're trying to, you have this vision of this story you want to tell.
I still have
You just
voltage
get to
at the
be,
Circle K where I live.
like a
Hopefully I
captain.
didn't just dox
Great
myself
crew,
by
great
revealing a
team.
chain
And
that
the
lives
camaraderie
by
that
me.
came with that also really
Imagine if I did.
interested me.
Oh.
And so
Oh well,
I only
sucks to be
started
me, I
acting kind of
guess.
as a way almost to be like undercover, like because I was like so interested in filmmaking and loved that part of it so much that I kind of did it not only because I liked performing, but also because I was like, oh, I guess I could learn a lot about filmmaking.
Okay, pausing for a second to tack on to the point he's making about filming and acting. Me, who's doing voice acting right now, I actually failed drama class because I couldn't sit still. And I just was an awkward bean, but being behind a screen recording makes it a lot better.
Just by watching a lot of people.
They call that pulling the Ron Howard. You Trojan horse your way
Yeah,
as a child
exactly.
star, and then boom, greatest director.
I love Ron Howard. He's amazing.
I'm talking about captaining a team of like mostly young actors or actors that are around your age. It's interesting you being the same age as them, because you said at the Toronto Film Festival in 2023 that you get annoyed watching teen movies that are made today because it misrepresents your generation so much. What do you think people are getting wrong that you won't fall into the same
Oh,
pitfalls?
they only have
you
Code
wanna
Red
make a
in your
movie or
area?
or something
They
that-
got
that
Baja
will,
Blast where I live.
Identify.
They
people
got
identify with. You wanna make
Voltage.
something
They
that
got they
everybody
got
can
everything.
present
They
isn't
even
just
got a
for
white one.
Our generation.
Talk about
And for
wanting to
me,
get
for my co-writer and
canceled.
co-director,
Mountain Dew
Julius,
is a white one, but not a
when we
black
were
one.
First writing it, we were just like, we felt like there were a lot of coming of age movies that were kind of talking down.
Actually,
our
do they?
generation.
Actually, no.
And a
Correction.
lot of it.
Around Halloween, there's a
Oh.
black one.
Snapchat.
It tastes terrible, but there
it was.
is a black Mountain Dew.
Anytime I see like the heads-up display of a social,
It's called the Voodoo Mountain
app
Dew.
in a movie, I get like irrationally angry.
No, 100%.
Tastes like absolute horseshit, though.
Why, like our film takes place on a campground is because we didn't want phones in the movie. We wanted phones completely to be out of it, except for there is like basically like a wannabe influencer, and that was something that like even now I look back on, I'm like, why did we do that? We broke our one rule. But it's not like a big part of the movie. It's just like the small little scene.
Even from a viewer's perspective, like being able to zoom out and think about the experience of all of you being there filming, like it makes it even more fun to watch. There's a line.
There's a horse flavor of Mountain Dew.
Is showing his screenplay to somebody.
Are you saying there's a horse flavor of Mountain Dew, chat?
Allergy. So the protagonist in this story is a schizophrenic war photographer.
I don't believe
deeply
you.
Personal. Was that you like making fun of young filmmakers who take themselves way too seriously?
Yes.
Came through, man.
Oh, that's so kind of you. You're the first person to actually.
Chat. It's a misunderstanding. Chat.
In a way, us at that time.
Well, sure, but that's such a great way to like neutralize that point that so many people, so many of the financiers that you probably went to, who just go, "What is a 20?"
We need a horse flavor of soda now.
Immediately taking the piss out.
Horse flavored
No,
beer.
like,
we need horse flavored
try
beer
to,
one of these days.
Write films as a way
Just
to sort of
extract the horse juices from the horse and
cool,
drain them and ferment them into a beer.
Actually, like stay on the camp was like.
All right,
such a
that's
cool
enough being a little
idea.
chaotic,
It,
Gremlin.
like really excited us.
But it's funny when you zoom back and look at Wet Hot American Summer now. It was like Bradley Cooper's first role, seeing like Amy Poehler there, like Michael Showalter, just all of these people, Ken Marino that went on to do all these incredible things. Do you ever have almost like a preemptive flashback moment where you're looking at all of the cast there and the camp and just go like,
wow,
man, in 20 years.
Yeah, this is like a moment.
Yeah.
I used to be a lot more, I think, like that. And then like as the years went on, like just the more I would think about the future, the more I was like, oh no. So like I'm just trying to take it like one day at a time. And not in the way of like, it doesn't scare me or anything. It's just, like, I just want to really enjoy it.
Adam Pally being killed by a fretboard going through his face. Finn, was that a metaphor for how your own musical creativity is slowly killing you inside?
Yeah. It's, that was a deep, yeah. It was an allegory, actually. No.
Hang on, I gotta Google what allegory means.
Pally, like, I've known since I was, like, pretty little. He was always
what
like, anytime you
does
something like
allegory mean?
You're signing yourself up for something that you might not want to be part of. He's like, dude, I'll do it no matter what. And to his amazing
allegory is a symbolic fictional narrative that conveys a secondary meaning not explicitly set forth in the literal narrative. All right.
He's immediately said yes.
The lesson is never say yes to a text from a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Never ever pull off a favor for a friend.
Absolutely not.
Sushi! Let's go!
The second course of your final meal on Earth. We have the tuna sashimi tacos from Ofo.
Tuna
And
sashimi
we have your classic
taco.
California roll. We got it from one of our favorite local
Oh yeah,
spots
California
here in
rolls are
Studio
great.
City. And
Yeah,
then
I have
chubby
those in my
soda.
town.
Yes, something I've
They're
never heard of
fantastic.
in my life.
So chubby soda,
Oh, chat's asking, did you understand the definition?
American thing, but for whatever reason, it was
No.
at this like local corner shop when I grew up in Vancouver. Like it was always.
Hey, at least
there.
I'm not lying to your
Caribbean
faces and being
influence
like,
in
yes, I
Vancouver? No,
totally
Toronto,
understood.
I feel
No,
like
no,
there's,
no.
like, you
I'm
know,
just an
there's
empty-brained
a little bit,
individual
but
who
yeah,
doesn't
that's
understand
Toronto,
shit.
I thought this. I haven't like exactly done my research. I thought this might have been a Caribbean thing because I don't think chubby soda is American.
It could be.
Gotta be. Certainly, there are context clues.
Someone's
A
got
product of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, these ended up in the corner shop that I grew up
Really?
right by. And yeah, I literally have not had one since I...
Pausing for a second while they're talking about unique drinks that are only sold where they are. There was a drink back when I lived in New Jersey that I loved with my entire soul. It was called birch beer. I cannot for the life of me get it out where I live now. Not saying where, I ain't about to dox myself. But if anybody ever finds a birch beer and just like asks to mail it to me, I will reach through the screen, take your hand, and smooch it 15 times. Anyway.
Well, I was like 8 years old.
No way.
I love birch beer. Birch beer is fantastic.
It's probably...
It was my first introduction into soda, so to
I will
speak.
say I've
It
watched a
is
lot of people drink a
fantastic.
soda they haven't had in 20 years, and almost
Like,
all
it was
of
in
them
those glass
that's
bottles
nice.
and everything.
Yeah, this isn't that good.
No, it's literally
Why do we have
called.
such
It's a
strong memory?
soda
This
called
is
birch
bad.
beer.
That's pretty bad. Pretty bad
It
soda.
is
With all due respect
fantastic.
to the beautiful
No, it's
nation
chubby.
Trinidad and Tobago.
It was expensive as fuck, but it was fantastic.
I'm very
Oh,
interested. This might be. I don't know why I have a feeling.
I miss living in New Jersey, but not because of the people.
Give it a smell.
I miss it because of the
Yeah, it's like
food.
gasoline. Yeah, it's like laughing gas. That's a flavor I've never had before, Finn.
It's very bubblegummy.
Tell me about the sashimi tacos from Alco.
So I want to ask how you guys source these
I
kinds of
want to have a
things.
taco
So if it's
now.
from certain restaurants,
call?
certain restaurants will call, we'll get it sourced. Certain restaurants will call and just talk to somebody about how they make it, and then we'll use the actual photos to try and replicate what it is, read Yelp reviews, all that stuff. So it's all really different. But try it, see how close we
pretty
got.
amazing.
That looks fantastic. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a joy.
That looks absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Right on?
it's exactly the same.
So good, then. This little baseline of that like mustardy wasabi, just kind of like bringing you back from sushi and away from nachos, which is ultimately.
Oh
what
yeah,
this is.
I would kill
Yeah,
for
yeah.
some
I'm
sashimi
talking
right
about
now.
your buddy
Same
Gaten,
chat,
who
same.
was
I'll
on
kill
the
for some
show before.
sashimi.
Now, he is
But
like
I'm
a
just
theater
having
kid
chicken and
through
gravy
and
and
through.
mashed
Talks about loving
taters
film
tonight.
from a young age.
Not a
What
bad
are the
meal by
similarities
any
and differences
extent,
between
but
theater kids
it's
and
not
film
sashimi.
kids?
I feel like
Though I will get myself some
they're
nice
very
sushi
much
when
two
I get
sides
my
of the same
food stamps
coin.
in.
Like, I talk about this with Gaten. I've talked about this with Gaten before. He treats theater like the same way that I treat
And now
film.
the big
It's like,
engines are
when he
going
watches
on
movies, he's
outside.
pretty
Lovely.
agreeable.
Hopefully
He's
you
not
didn't hear
very
him too bad,
cynical when it
chat.
comes to film. When I watch films, I'm like very much like overanalyzing everything and being like, oh, that didn't work or whatever, or just being super like a little more cynical about it. And Gaten's like, what are you talking about? That was great. And with theater, he's the exact opposite. He's he's the way I am with film, where it's just like, oh, I can't believe they did, like what the choices the production made, or like whatever it was. But in some ways they are like very similar.
All right, that's fair.
We'll be talking about some musical, and he's like, it's tired. It's tired. It needs to go.
Well, I'm tired too. Do I need to go?
Damn, dude. Like,
Drop the name.
Go to
Let's see,
bed,
talk
more
to
like
Finn.
it.
I literally can't talk
Dig into the California.
Okay.
These are from Sushi Yama Marketplace.
Yama Sushi Marketplace.
These are from Yama Sushi Marketplace.
There it goes.
Okay.
Why have you said Gaten is like an old character actor, an Alan Alda type? Can you explain that?
Because he's like a 70-year-old man in a 22-year-old's body. Like
But he also eats like a child. Gaten, we love you.
It's
to be
very
fair.
interesting. He's
You
got
know,
like,
that
the
is pretty
maturity
interesting.
And the instincts of like an old character actor who's so confident and really understands movement, and like when it comes to just like acting and being an actor and being a performer, he's so fluid, and he's super confident. And I think that may have come from him just like growing up on tour and stuff, because he just like was a road kid.
It's awesome to see
Chat
you talk so
going,
lovingly about
whoa,
him, not only as, like, a
blanky
performer,
be
but then
upon
just a
you.
friend,
You
like,
know what?
kind of goes
You're
into
damn
detail
right.
there.
And even just like everyone on that show too. Like we were so lucky to.
My face is not reacting anymore because my face is covered with the
What
blanket,
are
chat.
your emotions about
I
Stranger
am now a
Things
blanket
coming to an end, and
monster.
did
I
any
am
of your
approaching you
reactions,
to
like,
cover you
surprise
in
Did you
blankie.
think you'd
Nom
be
nom
over
nom
it
nom
after
Yeah.
nom.
the mental-
All right,
For
yeah,
me, it
no,
was
I'm
sort
very
of just
cozy.
like, okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Let's just like.
You just
every
gotta
day,
understand, it
like,
can't
it's in
track
bed.
when I'm underneath a
And
blanket.
Yeah, remember on the last day being like,
Nice
realized,
cozy
oh my God.
blankie.
Like looking around, being like, this is the last thing of this. This is the last take. This is the last whatever. And like everything is like just like no pun intended, like being in another dimension is really what it felt like, because you're like watching every person that you grew up with, all these people that you spent like the most time with, and like you have to process in that moment, or your brain's trying to process in that moment that like this is going to be the last time. So like your brain sort of just
I know
overloads.
that feeling.
Proud of everyone, but then also like terrified for the future, and like excited for everyone going forward, and mad that we're not going to get more time together to film it. So like it was just like a lot of conflicting emotions that I think hopefully like when people see the show like goes into the performances. I think that's like the thing that really mattered, and I think like
I
I've
wonder
never,
what they're
ever
gonna be
done, like,
eating
method
next on
acting
this.
ever, but it was the closest.
I
thing
love
just because
myself
of the
some good
situation
old
that we were
food.
in.
I'd love to
I
see what
reckon
they're
you
eating
can't say
next.
anything about the final season of Stranger Things in the plot. However, if I guessed right legally, you do have to nod your head yes.
Sure.
Hear me out. So, episode 6 is called, what is it, Escape from Camazotz?
Yeah.
Camazotz. They've released the episodes. Camazotz is a bat demon in the Mayan language. There actually ends up being a Game of Thrones crossover where Mike Wheeler tames the bat demon, learns to ride it, breathes fire, burns everyone down, saves the day.
This sounds.
It's honestly a predictable show. If you really look at it, it's predictable. Everyone could have told.
This sounds right. Listen, Game of Thrones.
Oh, you
people
saw
were mad about the
Cinnabon
last
cinnamon
episode of
roll?
Game of
Oh, I'm
Thrones, and
excited
this
for
season it
that.
kind of retcons that. We go back.
Exactly.
We go back and we rewrite history.
Oh,
And for
that
course
looks
number
good.
3 of your final meal, we enter the worldly portion. This is Finn all grown up. We have the agnolotti del plin from Osteria.
That looks so
Latte.
good. I want
It's the
some.
Yokohama style ramen. Now this is a clear shoyu broth that we've made still with pork.
Oh,
We
that
have
looks
pork belly on top,
fantastic.
the, sesame,
Ah.
egg, and then some negi, a little bit of scallion.
I am
And then
suffering
you
that I
can
cannot
say
eat my
garnish
TV
with
right
some
now.
salmon.
Why are you so
And
cruel,
that's
God?
culture.
Why?
Yeah. This was
Anyway, that's enough freaking out for now.
Cadian from Chicago, who actually his fiance now worked. I don't know if it still works out of Styria, and he was also the one that was like.
Hey, don't judge him. Don't judge him, chat. If he has an olive and an orange slice on it, he might have his reasons for it.
And doesn't have any.
He might be a freak. We don't want to judge him for being a freak now, do we?
One other restaurant in LA.
Oh, that was
It's
bad
called
of me. I'm
Wolfhard.
sorry.
This is a very obscure filled pasta from the Piedmontese region.
Yes.
This is filled with La Tour cheese. Just
Oh,
like we
that
did at
looks
the restaurant. We couldn't fly
fantastic.
it
I
up from
want
there. We wouldn't have
some.
kept it, so we made it ourselves.
Very fair.
Let us know how close we got to it, though.
Well, the great people there at Asteria are amazing.
Shout out to Osteria.
Shout out to Asteria.
Some people in some regions of Italy say Osteria.
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 Go to
Piacere.
Osteria.
Bravo, ragazzi, signore. Fin. Oh my god.
No, I'll do you one better, chat. This is my emotional support olive and orange slice, and I'll have you not judge me for it. Thank you very much.
I don't know what.
Kind of like that one cat had an emotional support IKEA wrap,
Regat.
Yeah.
and trans people have
There's no,
emotional
flavor,
support
this is just
blahaj,
this is like a
or however you
savory
pronounce
juice
that.
bursting in your mouth.
Exactly.
Damn,
Exactly,
it's
chat.
gonna get
What is in that?
Really?
Nothing but a miserable little pile
Actually,
of
exactly. The only
bullshit.
thing I think the only literally difference is that I think in the restaurant it's like because it's like some specific kind of cheese that's like aged more, so it's like a little more like sour or bitter or something.
A little more of
Sour.
that like biting funk.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But this is so good.
Tell me about this ramen.
I went to Yokohama with my brother and a friend, and it was the best ramen I've ever had, and I've been yet to find it.
You don't remember the
Wow.
name? Even. Wow.
He's
There was-
having
so
trouble
I-
finding a
and
restaurant?
I don't ever use this word, but it was umami.
It's umami, dude.
It was.
It's umami.
I hate using the word, but it was true.
Umami is the equivalent of somebody using like the phrase like, what was it, Dogma 95?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's the same. Oh, it's
Totally.
umami.
Yeah, it's umami. Yeah.
Diggin, let me know
Okay, cool.
if you can come back here and eat this at any point
Amazing.
if you'd like to.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's so good.
But it's still such a clear, beautiful broth because there's a lot of that like tonkotsu ramen that
Yeah.
just, to me it kind of just reads as a gravy in a lot of ways.
100%.
And I dig it, but I have to be like pretty violently hungover for it to hit.
Right. Yeah, I know. I love.
I've never
I love
been
tonkatsu
hungover
stuff,
in my
but it
life.
Definitely is like.
I'm never gonna
I-
understand people being
when I found out
hungover
about
and
the
eating the
Yokohama style, I was like,
greasiest
oh, this
food
is
imaginable
the thing for me, 'cause,
to
like, I love
recover.
pho.
I'll just
I
eat the
love
greasiest
clear
food
broth, and, like,
imaginable
think
on
it's
my
so,
own.
like,
Thank you very
It's
much.
so good.
Talking about going to other countries to shoot though, because you recently shot a film in Romania, The Legend of Ochi. Big forescapes there. How much forest bathing you get to in Romania?
Tons.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, no, a lot of walking around. Have you been to Eastern Europe before?
Never, no.
Okay. Like honestly, Romania is like an amazing country and like so incredibly like underrated. Very beautiful place and like awesome food. Like I had in Bucharest, there's this place, this taco place. I'm not even joking. There's
What?
the Romanian tacos. Hear me out.
Incredible.
Okay, I'm
There's this
hearing you
place
out.
in Bucharest that like has the most amazing tacos that they grow all their stuff there. Like they have like a little back.
I have a hot take, chat, and you're welcome to prove me wrong. But never in my life have I had a properly good taco. It always, for some reason, just doesn't taste good to me. Either There's beans on it for some godforsaken reason. Somebody forgot the cheese. They overcooked the... I've never had a good taco.
Where they grow all their own
it's really
corn,
sad.
so they
I
make all
know
their own
tacos are
corn
great,
tortillas,
but
and, like, it definitely
for some
is,
reason
like,
I've never had a
very
good
great,
taco.
Underrated place, I would say.
There are really no more borders. I had like excellent Oaxacan food in Amsterdam once, where same thing. They were growing all of it. They like recreated.
I've had a
soil
good
conditions
breakfast
from
burrito
Oaxaca at
though,
their farm
and
in
ironically,
Madrid.
it's from
Yeah,
McDonald's.
it's like you have to.
I'm doing
Somehow,
dude.
like it's probably not
It's
the
definitely
original
great.
Celebrate.
breakfast burrito, but it's still really good.
It's great.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm gonna try it.
there.
I mean, yeah, I think also, yeah, like I've had some of the best.
Cali has
Chinese
some
food
good
in Japan.
tacos. Well,
There's a big movement now.
sorry to
Yeah,
tell you, but I don't
Japanese
live in
side.
Cali, and I don't have a car to get
I
over
want to ask you
there.
a question about a movie you did called "When You Finish Saving the
One
World."
of these days, I'll
which
get
was
myself
Jesse
a
Eisenberg's
license and
directorial
a car.
debut. There's a moment
but
where
that's
he called
expensive.
Jesse Eisenberg and asked him if he had ever heard of anxiety.
Gonna
did
hang
he
up
say to
on
you?
that. That's
Yeah,
just
like,
the
him
spam
just
number.
turned 18, and it was this part that I like just.
Oh,
really
shrimp
cared about.
tacos?
He's
I
such a
already
huge
love
fan of
shrimp.
Jesse and
Shrimp's
obviously, like,
fantastic.
Moore was also in the movie. I was also just
So a
like,
shrimp taco
I mean,
sounds
I was
even
just so
better.
scared, basically.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the best job I possibly could. He's the perfect person to like have anxiety.
Hey,
around
Midnight.
because he is the most anxious
How you
person,
doing?
so
Welcome
it's
to
like,
the
he
stream. I
makes
hope you're
your
doing well.
anxiety feel kind of like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like kind of pulling him aside and being like, I'm really anxious. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like pull this off. And he was like, told me a story about how like on Adventureland, his director, Greg Mottola, Jesse had like some kind of like panic attack during a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of lost control, and Greg pulled him aside and was like, I don't know how you wouldn't be having a panic attack all the time. Like,
Damn.
it's the weirdest like job. Like, acting is the weirdest job ever. And like, I remember like 2 years later, probably, or a year and a half later, I was like just having like a tough time in my life, and
Aw.
called him and was just like, do you ever go through periods of time where you don't feel, you go through depressed periods of time or anxious periods of time? He was like,
Yeah.
why do I have to keep reminding you this? Like, I'm the most anxious person like on earth. Like, you can see it on me. You can smell anxiety on me.
Seems like you're out here like collecting mentors like Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really awesome
collecting
people.
mentors like
Maybe, back
Infinity
to,
Stones. I
When You
mean,
Finish Saving the
it's not
World.
that far off.
So much of it seems like a bit of a meta-analysis of a lot of parts of like your own life. Like, it's somebody later in high school trying to figure out what it means to like be an adult, especially reflected through his mom, played by Julianne Moore. There's a scene where you're talking about this like cognitive dissonance of knowing logically that you should feel one way,
Yeah.
but not actually being able to feel that, and the sort of like resentment that builds
Frustration,
on.
yeah.
Do you ever feel that in your own life?
You think that all that stuff is just going to be like the answer to like your feelings of whatever, like whether it be, like,
Answers
depression
aren't a
or
one-size
loneliness, like,
fits
whatever
all.
it is that you're struggling through, and then you're like, but then I'll just work a bunch and I'll do all these things and it'll make me happy. And then you're like, that's not just it. Like, you have to also do a lot of work separately from that. So I definitely have like had a ton of that. And I think like that
Having money
character
would
is,
help, though,
like,
not gonna
super
lie.
racked with like
It would solve a lot of the problems a lot of
lot of
people face
insecurity
in
and
life. Like,
self-doubt,
I'm just
like,
saying, if
basically
they
the
had
whole
money,
movie is him
there'd be a
trying to
lot less anxiety and
make his
depression
mom
rolling
love
around.
him, essentially.
Yeah.
And so like that's
Pay attention to him.
yeah, even just anything. She's never like, hey, good job. She's always super, even though she does. It's like these. I think what's so interesting about that movie is that it's like the conflict of like, she runs a women's shelter and like saves people's lives, yet she can't even give like any attention to her son, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like there are certain scenes that just felt really good to do because I was like, I would normally have never done that in real life.
Was it
And,
when you
like,
yelled at Julianne Moore that she's going to stay poor while you get rich?
yeah, that was one of the scenes.
Talking about mentors earlier, you're working on a project with Billy Brick, your creative partner, and Jason Reitman.
Yeah.
It's the Idle Hands reboot.
Yeah.
You've said that it's a classic, but not necessarily untouchable. As a massive Idle Hands fan, I need to make one specific request on a scene, Finn, that you must leave in the movie.
Okay.
Where Devon Sawa tries to cut off his own hand using a bagel slicer. It's got to stay. If it doesn't, I'm going to lead the Reddit hate pages.
Okay, great.
That you ruined.
We'll make it happen.
Thank
we'll make
you
it
so
happen.
much, man.
Definitely.
That's funny.
I also love Idle Hands. I think it's great. I think like I always just found really interesting growing up of just like, a teenage kid who has absolutely no control like over his body. I think like especially to like when you're at that age where your body's kind of awkward and like, kind of figuring stuff out more. Like I always just found that concept to be really awesome, and yeah, I mean I hope it happens. It's very much.
We got a bot in our chat.
Even though it's a movie about
mods,
kids hand
prepare the extinction cannon.
It's an allegory.
So yeah, it's now
Thank you, mods. They have been exterminated.
Finn, for your final course, your final meal, the Score Blizzard with hot fudge.
Really?
Dairy
Score
Queen.
Blizzard.
And then we have the cinnamon
Interesting.
roll from Grounds for Coffee in Vancouver.
I never even heard of
So
Score.
how these ended up getting to us, we did call the owner of Grounds for Coffee. We dropped your name. They said they loved you, how much you've supported the business, and then they shipped them over to us. However, I don't think this is legally getting them in any trouble. They realized that with the new tariffs, it might be confiscated. So what the owner actually did was drive across the border into the state of Washington.
Oh my
to us
god!
for you to go, so you can give to your whole team. We got some of them frozen.
Holy
in the mail.
shit!
I wrote you a nice letter that has not
That's
yet
some
been
next
delivered,
level
so
shit.
We will make sure it gets to you. So shout out.
Shout out Grounds for Coffee. I go every Saturday.
That is
I go to
insane.
school, and every time after our after we
That's
do mass,
definitely
we go
one way of getting cinnamon roll
As, like,
into
thanks
another
for-
place.
forcing yourself to come to mass with your parents, kind of thing.
I love that, getting getting a little treat for
Yeah,
godliness.
exactly.
It's kind of like Pascal's wager. It's like,
Totally.
might as well believe because now I'm getting a cinnamon
Yeah.
roll. Dig in, man. This looks
This is the greatest.
incredible. Unless you're supposed
Cheers,
to put
man. No,
the
this is
Blizzard
great.
on this.
No. I think you would die.
Exactly. Where
Like
these
the Chevy
people
soda
got
from the
themselves professional cinnamon roll
Do you go right for the
smugglers.
Every
It's
part-
absolutely
like,
next
you know,
level.
like some hunters are like, I eat every part of the elk.
Now scrape the
That's me with this.
scrape the marrow out of the deer bone. Your favorite YouTube video?
You ever seen that? Oh,
I've never watched it. I couldn't find it.
really? I'll send it to you later.
Send
I
it
know
to me,
exactly
man.
what video you're talking about. There's an
Please.
amazing video of that guy. He's like a nature guy, and he's like has like a gigantic moose bone or something, or elk bone, and he like puts it on the two rocks and smashes it with a gigantic boulder, and he's like, you can actually eat it right out of the bone. Does it? That's yeah.
We thought about
This
getting
is the
you
same
a giant
thing.
frozen elk bone,
Yeah,
and then
and-
we were like, PETA's gonna come after us.
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
some-
We would get, yeah. you
If
guys
PETA
would-
comes at
I don't
you,
want that for you.
just
Tell me
come
about
back at
The
PETA.
Dairy Queen.
This is like my comfort thing. In
Yes, that was supposed to be
Yeah,
phrased
whatever.
awkwardly. That's
Oh,
the
no.
joke.
Under the lights, it's different. That doesn't count.
Totally.
This is sat for a sec.
My friend who used to work at Dairy Queen used to say that in the summer that would happen sometimes, where like you would do like like you float it, and it would just fall directly on the floor.
Oh,
It was too
no.
hot.
Yeah, I think you just quit at that point. You just walk out.
What's the point? Yeah, so the score, specifically the Score Blizzard, it's kind of like our Heath bar.
Is Score a Canadian thing?
Yeah. I think, or maybe,
Oh, that's why I haven't heard of it.
I was thinking, you still, like,
Because
yeah,
it's
recognize the
Canadian,
Queen in a
eh?
way.
Yeah.
I don't exactly know how much.
Yeah, they don't know either.
Fair point.
Basically, I mean, for a while I was going daily.
That's a cry for help. That's not I enjoy
I
ice
know.
cream. You know what I mean?
If I'm bored, I'll eat ice cream. If I'm whatever, if I just want some kind of little dopamine hit,
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Hey, it's better than heroin. That's what I.
Yeah,
say.
yeah, exactly. Isn't this better? See, I could have gone a few different other ways.
You know, you got to watch multiple generations of child actors from like the Brat Pack in the 80s,
Yep.
Disney Channel stars in the 2000s. Did you have a keen awareness of that and like put safe gaps in place of like, oh, I'm not going to be what people view as like the stereotype of a child actor?
It was definitely no. It was something that I was really scared about always. And I think in some ways has like definitely made me, I think, like come out the other side better, but also at the same time I think has given me like a lot of
Makes sense.
certain kind of like fears or issues or whatever just based around it, because like even though I had like
That's
such
totally
an amazing
valid.
experience being like a child actor and like had like an amazing family supportive, like there is just like a base level of like things that happen when you're like a child actor that like
I'm
aren't-
sorry you're
that don't
hungry
happen
now,
to, like, kids
Chad.
that aren't child actors.
Eat
Just
your
things that
monitor
you
or
like,
something.
all the kids on Stranger Things
Don't actually do that. I
have,
ain't
like,
replacing that
done,
shit.
Like, a great job because we've all had like really attentive parents, I think.
Yeah.
It was definitely something that I thought about a lot, and actually something that like when me and Gaten lived together talked about a lot. And also speaking of Gaten,
I'm gonna try and FaceTime. If he doesn't answer me, you do it.
okay.
We're doing it.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah,
Huh?
Oh, you're on camera. I should tell you that. What's up?
that's good. I'm excited to be on camera.
Yeah,
That's
Finn.
awesome.
So when are you not on camera?
You want to talk it to me.
On your last meals, you said that you loved the Jenny's ice cream and didn't give me credit that I showed you the.
Make the ice cream.
Yeah.
Credit for showing me the ice cream. Do you have it on yours?
No.
Well then.
Got a blizzard.
I do have a blizzard though. It's like Heath, but it's like Score. In Canada, it's called Score.
Grandma.
I think it's called Mythical Kitchen because it's a sub-channel of Mythical Mornings, so that's what makes the kitchen mythical. That's what I think it is, like, chat. That's what I think.
And it became a nightly thing. He would surprise us both.
I would surprise him. We'd be watching something, and I'd be like, "There's something at the door."
You guys are just an
Did
old
you hear
married
that?
couple. That's incredible.
Yeah, that is kind of what it was.
Beautiful.
You should probably go do
We should go back to the show.
All right, I'll see you in New York.
Bye,
I'll
Dan.
see you guys very soon. I cannot wait.
Love you. Later. I love that he picked
You
that.
didn't make the ice cream.
I did. Yeah, it's true.
You know what? You're right,
I knew
chat.
exactly
They
that's
got
what
cinnamon rolls smuggled straight to them from Canada. That is pretty mythical.
You ready to get in the lightning
That dude does make them
Alright.
valid in terms of
Who's the one person
mythicalness.
dead or alive you'd want to share your actual last meal with?
Oh, George Harrison.
What's the most expensive keepsake you took from the Stranger Things set?
My bike.
Yeah.
Oh,
buddy.
wow.
What song do you want to be played at your funeral?
I feel like I thought about this.
Highway to Hell.
Yeah, Highway to Hell. Go.
Yeah?
It's perfect.
It's either that or Rob
Pretty funny.
Dragula.
If like my grandma there crying, like Highway to Hell. Perfect.
Is Bananagram superior to Scrabble?
Yes.
Liar. Who's your dream eulogizer at your funeral?
I feel like it'd be really awesome to have like one of the Monty Python guys. I think that'd be really funny.
If you were on survival show alone, how long would you last?
Alone, I would not. I would last like 2 days. Like maybe.
Really?
catch
2
one
days?
thing,
That's a bit
squirrel or something,
generous.
Not know how to cook
That's
it,
a little
and
bit
then-
generous,
and then just go,
honestly.
well, that's it for me.
Drink a little bit of contaminated water, get a tummy rumble.
Exactly, and then I twist my ankle and it's over.
What's your biggest fear?
I guess like being alone, maybe.
Mood!
Like loneliness.
Fucking
That's
mood.
Like a more sort of broad thing, but then like when it comes to like actual things that I'm like bears.
Loneliness
I
is so
mean,
much scarier than a bear.
They're
You're
big
not
fucking
someone
death
to
machines.
talk
Why
to.
not be scared
yeah,
of them?
exactly. You got someone to bond with.
Yeah, for real though. What's your greatest regret in life?
No regrets? Do people say that a lot?
Tattooed, right?
No, but it's spelled wrong.
No
No
regrets.
regrets, babe.
No regrets.
Finally, Finn, are you happy?
Yeah, I think so.
Finn, this is
That's
awesome.
Thank you so
That's
much.
Thank you. Now, if you want to deliver your last words to that camera right there.
Okay, last words. Maybe.
Before we hear his last words, if I ever ended up on this show and got my own last words, I would scream at the top of my lungs. Oh, no, I don't mean to go backwards. I would scream on the top of my lungs, "The Muffin Man still owes me $20! Anyway. I mean, if the bear was cuddly, I'd say it's pretty cool about being vibing with it, but I mean, like,
That doesn't make
is
any
it a
sense.
bloodlusted
You would-
bear?
you would be,
No.
like
I wouldn't
breaking
be
the fourth
full.
wall on your own death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe like my last words are, don't.
You know what? That's fair. Just don't. Just don't. I like that one. I like that one. That's a mood and a half.
25th, the final season of Stranger Things premieres later this year, and you have a solo album coming.
Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching today's stream. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and check out the original video when you watch this on my channel. Now, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Yes, I am taking that bit to the grave. You can't stop me from taking that bit to the grave. It will be the best bit ever if I die doing it.